In case you were unaware, it is Disney World's 50th birthday this year. Well, for the next 18 months, as Disney likes to plan out their celebrations. So we are planning to go as much as we can to soak in the celebration. We had the pleasure of going for Mark's birthday weekend in October, which was also opening weekend of the 50th. So if you want to know what's new for the 50th celebration, I will make sure to link that video here. For all of the Disney tips on travel, what's new, what's going on, and of course recommendations, please make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will be notified of our little pixie dust coming into your YouTube feed every single week. Our daughter Callie is 6, so we think that this trip coming up in February is going to be like the trip, like the pinnacle of magic for her. That means that we are doing so much extra planning to make sure that that happens. I posted a video last April after we had come home for our trip during the pandemic, and it's been one of our most popular videos, but essentially it was like a what I wish I knew before we went. I had done already a ton of research for that trip, and there was still so much that I didn't know. So for this upcoming trip, I am doing even more research to prevent that future video from happening. This time, I want to know it all before we go. So if you're planning for an upcoming trip, you can stop all of your research because I've already done it for you. Stick around, let's do our planning together, and this is what I've discovered. Number 1 is about park reservations. Since the start of the pandemic, Disney World has required park reservations. This means that in addition to booking your admissions or purchasing your admissions to the parks for your general trip, you need to specify what park you are going to on what day and reserve that. It used to be that you would buy admission to the park for however many days your trip was, or that you were planning to go into a park, and then you would be able to book that on the morning of, or even just showing up at the park and booking it then. Disney is currently still keeping track of guest inventory, and I don't foresee park reservations going away anytime soon. In fact, Disney actually recommends that before you buy admission to their parks, you check the park reservation calendar to see what days are available. This is especially important if you are traveling during something like an Epcot festival or a really short window of time, like 3-ish days, so that way you know you're guaranteed to go into the parks that you want for those days. My advice to you is right after you purchase your admission, you book your days immediately, like in the same sitting, just so that way you're guaranteed to get into the parks the day that you want them. There is a park reservation map available. I will put a screenshot of that here so you can see what days they are in green. There's a color coding system are available for your upcoming trips. I'll also link this down below in the description box as a tool for you. The breakdown is this. To get into a Disney park, both admission for that day as well as an aligned park ticket are required for entrance. When we traveled in April, Disney was at a 30% capacity for park admission. I could not find in my deep dive research a percentage that Disney is accepting into the parks per day. However, there is a general statement where Disney claims they are at a lowered capacity than normal still, but they won't name the percentage. Crowds are growing, social distancing is no more, so this general lower capacity number may be false, or it may just be that things feel more crowded because there are still some closed attractions. We'll get to that later. Number 2 is about magic bands. Oh, Bob Chapek, another money grab. Magic bands are no longer complimentary to on-site guests. Back in the PC days, pre-Chapek, I'm sorry, I just need to entertain myself, okay? Pre-Chapek days, magic bands used to be complimentary if you were staying at or on a Disney resort property. Magic bands are magical, I know, for so many reasons. They gain you access into your resort, they get you access into the park, and oh, I love that sound. They can also be your payment in restaurants, in shops, and if you take photos using the My PhotoPass system in the Disney parks, you would use your Magic Band to have those downloaded to your app as well. This is our Magic Band Mickey. Now, Mark made this years ago, and our goal is to fill it up. So the reason I'm showing this to you, because it's embarrassing to show this to you, there are like 8 basic solid color designs. You can see a bunch of those down here. These are all from different past trips. I made this fancy one cuter for Christmas when we went a few years ago. Same with this one. I made my own little bows for them. But there are also newer, cuter designs that are, of course, a more premium fee. These are some of Callie's newer ones. Let me show you the backs, actually. That's more important. So these are some of Callie's newer ones. We have a Mulan, a Disney princess. She has a bell. Mark is especially proud of this one because this was only available on the 50th day. And then we also keep our little like annual pass holder widget things to go on top. We have our Aulani wristbands, but you can tell that there are some that are designs. I really wanted this pink one. This glitter one is a premium, read more money, but one that I'm bringing with us on our next trip. Now you can purchase your Magic Band online up to 10 days prior to travel. You can also purchase them when you're on site, but that is not something I recommend because what's the fun in that? Obviously, the Magic Bands are part of the excitement for us, so we order ours quite literally as soon as we can. Yes, you can reuse previous Magic Bands in the park, but we really like the design. You can get your name or a date put on the inside, so that way you can always go back to them and tell what trip they were from. In order to purchase and have your Magic Band work for you prior to your arrival in Disney, you can do this on your Disney account or in the My Disney Experience app, and then you just link your vacation. Takeaway. Used to be free if you were paying to stay on site. Now they are not. I promise this isn't all downers, but I'm just trying to give you the news, right? This is Disney news. Okay, so the next one actually is a huge downer for us. Rest in peace, Magical Express. Can we have a minute? Thank you. There is no longer free travel from MCO, Orlando International Airport, to Walt Disney World. Disney is working on putting a new system in place. It is yet again a bus system. It allegedly still takes a long time. My recommendation is that you get an Uber or a Lyft. And I know that that's going to be some dollars, but in Orlando, you can also do the add a car seat option, which we don't have where we live. So you can know that your babies are going to be safe without needing to bring a car seat on the plane with you and have that lugged around everywhere you're going. The internal bus system still exists from like your Disney resort to a park and back, but the lovely and magical first and last ride of your trip are no longer going to be brought to you by Mickey.
I know this video quality is going to be terrible, but I'm on the Magical Express, maybe for the last time, and I love the Magical Express. The drivers are great, they're funny, they get you excited, I love the video. It's just so sad this service is going away. It's such a relaxing way to start your vacation.
Number 4 on the list of things you should know is about ride closures. In recent months, like quite literally last month, Disney announced what the dates would be for certain ride closures in 2022. Some of them still do operate inconsistently due to staffing, but it seems like less rides will be closed or will be closed for shorter periods in 2022 than they were in 2021. I'm going to put cards up on the screen as I read through them to you, but make sure you're following along on Instagram so that way you can download and save these as well. Let's start in Animal Kingdom. Unfortunately, Expedition Everest is scheduled to be closed from January 4th, 2022 through mid-April of this year. Finding Nemo the Musical is alleged to return in the spring of this year as well, and Primeval Whirl has been permanently closed. In good news, the Dino Boneyard is open again! It's one of my favorites! Magic Kingdom's list is a little longer. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is scheduled to be closed only February 14th through the 18th of this year. Enchanted Tales with Belle will likely return sometime this year, but it's TBD. Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair is supposed to return in early 2022, so I'll keep you posted if that is open while we're there. Splash Mountain is scheduled to be closed for a renovation January 10th through February 10th. I wish I could tell you that this was happening for that amazing overhaul with Princess and the Frog, but that is not this renovation. And of course, the Walt Disney World Railroad is still closed. This is not going to reopen until the Tron Light Cycle Run is open. So there's some time left on this, likely summer or later. And my favorite thing, the Festival of Fantasy Parade returns in early 2022. Disney is still running their cavalcades, which I love, but I really, really miss this parade and would love to see it return for our trip in February. Let's talk about Epcot. Epcot internally is a sea of construction walls. Things have been looking up with the opening of Club Cool and the Creation Shop, which we visited both, and those are in our 50th video as well. The next up newest thing for Epcot is going to be the Connections Cafe and Eatery, which is scheduled to be like a fast casual plus a new Starbucks location for the spring of 2022. I think the biggest change in Epcot is from Epcot Forever, the fireworks show, to Harmonious, which has been a huge upgrade in my opinion. In Hollywood Studios, Fantasmic is scheduled to return in 2022 sometime, but it is supposed to be even better than the original show. The Jedi Training Academy Trials of the Temple is TBD. Star Wars Galactic Spectacular is also TBD, in addition to Star Wars Launch Bay and Voyage of the Little Mermaid. I'm sharing these with you because you should just know that the more attractions that are closed means bigger crowds in other places. So make sure you are taking advantage of, if you can, Genie Plus, so that way you know that you're not going to be stuck in a super long line and surrounded by a lot of people. Number 5 is about mobile ordering and dining. Last year, I talked about how mobile ordering was mandatory in the parks for most walk-up and quick service restaurants, and that created some crowding and it prevented a lot of people from eating when they normally would eat, because the idea was that you needed to place your mobile order in the morning, even if you weren't planning to eat until noon or 1 o'clock. Mobile ordering has relaxed a bit, but we are still planning on taking advantage of it, so my tip for you is to do just that. Order in the morning, order in advance, so that way at least you can get the times that you're interested, instead of walking up to a place and saying, oh, I'd really like to eat there, and then finding out that the next available open slot is 3 to 4 hours from the time that you're hungry. Additionally, all guests can now book dining 60 days in advance. Yay! This is so much better than the 30 where everything was selling out. However, things are going fast, so make sure you know when your 60-day window is. Oh, and a side note, there are so many new 50th specialty items that I am very excited to try. So keep an eye on Instagram and we will for sure be doing a what we eat when we come back from our trip. Number 6, the plexiglass is gone. So there are pros and cons to that, but I think the biggest pro is that everybody can hear the soundtrack of the attraction that you're on. I talked in April about having a really hard time hearing Living with the Land, the narration, because the plexiglass was in front of the speakers. Same thing on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I'm really excited that the plexiglass is gone. There is still an indoor mask mandate, so when you go into an attraction, you aren't just breathing each other's air. Tell me what you want to know more about. What questions do you have about Disney 2022? Number 7 is also a good one. It's all about the experiences and the spa. Personally, I think some of the best parts of Disney are not necessarily within the parks. They're like the extras on top. Unfortunately, many of these still haven't reopened, but there are some that have that we're really excited about. The Grand Floridian Spa opens as of January 26th. I already booked myself and my sister a massage for the day that we arrive. I am thrilled to be going back to a Disney spa because they are one of the best that I've ever been to. Now, the options are limited for what you're choosing. They didn't have as many body treatments as they normally have, but I know that is due to shortage of staffing, and the more people who return, the more their menu will reopen up. Some of the tours have also returned. We are fully taking advantage of that, and we're doing Caring for Giants in Animal Kingdom. This is a tour we've done in the past, but we're actually getting this for my niece's birthday. She's turning 6, so the big girls, Callie, Zoe, Mark, me, and I think Colby are going to go on this adventure with them, and we'll get to go behind the scenes and see some of the amazing animals in person. Some of the highlights that have reopened are the 50th fireworks dessert parties. We just booked the pre-party and I'm definitely doing a video on it. I'll do a review while we're there, but I'm really excited that we'll get to be on the grass, the green, the hub for the fireworks, and the new show at Cirque du Soleil is open as well in Disney Springs. So keep an eye out. I'm sure new dates will be rolling out in 2022, but I'm excited to see Disney experiences coming back to normal with some safety parameters included. And the last tip is about budgeting. So with the rollout of Genie Plus and Lightning Lane, you are going to be looking at additional money per day if you're going to take advantage of those. I did a full video on Genie Plus, what it is. I will link that video here, but I'll also be doing a live review of this while we're in the parks in February. Disney has always been expensive, right? I didn't get to go as a child for this reason, but it's becoming more expensive, like unreasonably expensive and almost classist. Again, thanks, Bob. The essence here is that if you are looking to fast pass or skip some of the lines in Disney for popular attractions, Genie Plus is $15 per day per member of your family. So for a family of 3, that's an extra $45 a day. And then if we wanted to add on Lightning Lane, that's possibly an extra $90 a day if we wanted to ride the 2 attractions as a family. So just something to think about when you're budgeting. I'm going to be doing an upcoming Q&A video, and I've already received the question, how do you budget for Disney? So I'll be addressing more about our finances. If you're interested in that, in something in the future, make sure you're subscribed. But just something to be aware of. Yes, you have to purchase your park admission and then you have to secure the park you're going to. But on top of that, if you're going to use Genie Plus, it's $15 a day per person. And then if you're going to use Lightning Lane, the prices vary. During busier times, it can get up to $15. During less crowded times, it's around $7 per person. So just make sure that you are planning that out in your budget. If you found this video helpful, will you please give it a thumbs up to let me know what kind of content you're interested in? I really appreciate you subscribing and being here. Leave me a comment letting me know what else you are interested in Disney. How else can I serve you? I love you. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.